you guys, it's Karen, and I wanted to come and just give you an update and have a chat about this. This is the Retirides 0.025%. I realised I've been using it 6 weeks today, and I've got quite a few things that I have not changed, but quite a few things I've noticed about it. And obviously there was that study that I found that kind of gave me some additional information. So I haven't got any notes. I'm just gonna, hopefully I won't be too much all over the place. I'm just gonna tell you what I can remember from it. I think I'm using it less now than when I started. I believe when I started, it was every other night. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. I now use it every third night because that was just too much. Every other night was too much for my skin, even at this 0.025%. You can see I've used probably a third of a tube. There's still quite a bit left in there. So probably between a third and half of this tube. And I use quite a lot, and that's one thing that I think I should change. I was putting it under my eyes at first, as you know, under my eyebrows and under my eyes here. You guys were right, it could well have caused that crack in my lip that actually ended up healing on its own. Like, as in, I didn't put anything on it the following day and then it disappeared. Isn't that just typical? I guess it was everything I'd put on it going to work. But it could well be because I put the retinoid too close to my mouth. However, I've had splits like that before when I wasn't using retinoid, so it may be or it may not. But I was definitely putting it too close and I was using too much. That is my kind of MO. I use too much, hair care, skincare, everything. And so I'm going to start using a lot less. And actually I read something saying that it's a mistake to use too much. So it's specifically a pea-sized amount to cover your whole face and maybe a pea-sized amount to cover your neck, and I definitely use a lot more. So I'm going to reduce the amount I use. I'm going to continue using it every third night because I still have peeling, very bad peeling. So what I'm really surprised at is that my skin hasn't become accustomed to this cream quicker. I thought within 2 to 3 weeks maximum I would be able to up to another cream, or I would be able to increase this back to every other night, or that I wouldn't have any peeling or anything like that. But the peeling has definitely reduced from the beginning, but it's not gone away. And I would say that the only time my skin looks okay is on the third day when I'm due to use the Tretinoin, because that's after you. So I used this not yesterday, the day before, so didn't use it last night, won't use it tonight, but I'll use it tomorrow night. And because I've got all this flaking today, I will use my Foreo tonight, you know, take off any dead skin cells, and then tomorrow is when my skin would look the best, but then I'll put it on again tomorrow night. And so yeah, I'm only really getting that one day out of, is that 3 or 4, one day where my skin looks okay. The rest of the time it looks kind of dry and a little bit scaly. In fact, I would say that I put it on in the evening, don't notice anything in that evening, of course. It doesn't sting or anything like that. My skincare that I put on after it doesn't sting at all. The following day, any products I put on sting pretty much. Not any products, like my Cica Plus balm doesn't sting and things like that, but you know, niacin or any serums, a lot of things I put on sting. And my face would feel a little bit irritated, but it wouldn't look irritated, but my neck would look irritated. That's day 1. Come day 2, I'm then peeling, and that's today. Peeling skin, and my neck is irritated. You can see the redness on my neck there, and it's still on my chest. And actually my neck seems to have been getting worse rather than better. Seems to have been getting less accustomed to the cream. And then tomorrow my skin will look like it's back to normal, and then I'll start the whole journey again with putting this on. So I'm not sure how I feel about all that, because my skin doesn't feel great most of the time and my makeup doesn't look great most of the time. So what's happening is I'm actually not wearing makeup very much. I'm missing makeup for 2 days and then putting makeup on, which I suppose in itself is not a bad thing. But it doesn't mean on the days that I need to put makeup on, it doesn't look great. Need to put makeup on, nobody needs to put makeup on, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. However, I know that there are things I can do to tailor my routine, if you like, to try and improve that. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I said, is use less. I'm definitely going to use less. A pea-sized amount on my face, a pea-sized amount on my neck. On my neck, I'm going to mix it with a moisturiser, I think. I'm either going to mix it or I'm going to use something straight away. And even on my face, I was waiting half an hour before putting the rest of my products on. But I think now I am going to put the rest of my products on at the same time. I'm going to just immediately give it that moisture boost, so it's almost like mixing the product. But like I said, I may even actually mix it for my neck and see if that helps. I'm going to keep it the same frequency. I'm going to keep using it every 3 days and see what happens. But I did that video on the study with people dying, and I learned a lot from doing my research from that. And that information combined with how my skin is reacting, there's just something in my head going, you know, the signs are there that it shouldn't be used, that it's not for you, because, and I guess that's why most people stop, because intuitively you feel that you should, because your skin is peeling and your skin doesn't look great. And so, you know, I wonder, will my skin ever acclimatise to it? And I've definitely got people that have said they've been using it for a year and their skin hasn't acclimatised to it. You guys are telling me my skin looks wonderful, but then I did have those comments before I used Tretinoin also. And yeah, I guess you could say I'm having some doubts, but I am going to persevere with it, because to me, if I stop it and then ever decide, oh, you know what, I really do want to give it a try, then I've got to start the whole process again, you know, and start from 0.025 blah blah blah. So I do really want to persevere and see what happens, and so my next stage is to use up the rest of that tube and then probably come back and report to you, or in another 6 weeks, and let you know how it's going using less, and if my skin's got accustomed to it. Regarding the research study that that video I did, there's an awful lot to say on that, but I could go on forever really talking about that. And I had some really interesting discussions in the comments about it. And you may have noticed I changed the title, because it was Could Retinoid Kill You, or Could Tretinoin Kill You, I think it was. And that was the question I wanted to discuss, if you like. The idea is, could Tretinoin kill you? There was a question mark at the end. Discuss, you know, that was the idea of it. This was me saying, hey guys, look at the information I've found. What do you think? Isn't that a bit scary? But however, here are, you know, the pros and cons for believing it. But I think some people thought it was too shocking, so I changed it to, is it dangerous? I had a look at the overall consensus of people, by the way, because there was 2 people that said they were unsubscribing, and so I had a look at my analytics and, you know, everybody's views in general, and there was, I think, a total of somewhere between 5 and 10 people that didn't agree with the video, basically, that thought it was scaremongering, which is why I changed the title, but I'm certainly not taking it down, because I don't want to be a scaremongerer. But like I said, I think it just wasn't taken in the way I meant it, in that, let's discuss this, what do you think? It was not, as some people took it, me saying Tretinoin kills you. It was definitely not that. But anyway, as a result of that, most people appreciated it, kind of knew about it, found it really interesting. And the views of people were so far apart as to whether you were going to use it or not. It was so interesting. Some people said, what a lot of rubbish. If it was dangerous, it wouldn't be possible to buy it. And unfortunately, that's not true, because obviously you can buy cigarettes, you can buy alcohol, they can kill you. But also, if you think about it, it may not be known. There may be a bunch of professionals or government officials asking that research be done now because of this study, and they may be like, oh my God, we need to do studies and find out. It's not something that they can just decide overnight to take off because of a study that resulted in saying it was down to chance. So I don't think that it's rubbish. I think there's something in it. I definitely think there's something in it that needs to be looked at. It may be that it just, in certain types of people, that it can be risky. People said that these were ill, elderly people, but they weren't ill actually. They weren't allowed to be on the study unless they were clear of cancer. Anyway, some people said that. Other people were like, oh my God, I'm not using it. I was going to use it, but now I'm not. And I think both decisions are valid. That's the whole point. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. And one person asked me, well, if you've done this video, why are you continuing to use it? But that says to me that they thought the video was me saying this is dangerous and it will kill you, and it wasn't. It was me saying that's a question, can it? And this is the 2 sides of it. And I can see there are some risks. It's given me food for thought. As I said, I probably wouldn't use the 0.1%, or I would use it sparingly, but there has been studies showing long-term safety of tretinoin, and the conclusion was that it was chance. And so for me at the moment, it is information to kind of just note down, and when the opportunity arises, look into it further, and just kind of mull it over. I guess that's the best way of saying it. I am mulling it over, and part of me is thinking that between the red skin, the scaly skin, and the dangers or potential dangers, part of me does think this is like flashing beacons saying don't use it. You know, instinctually, if you didn't know about retinoid and you put something on your skin and your skin started peeling off, you'd stop using it. And so part of me is like, well, you know, perhaps I should stop using it. Perhaps it's not for me. So I don't know. I have to say, if my skin doesn't acclimatise to it, I'm not going to go the rest of my life with dry peeling skin. I'm just not. It's not attractive, it's not enjoyable, and it's not fun. And one of the biggest things actually for me is that I can't use my self-tan very well. I don't know whether you noticed, nobody's commented yet, surprise, but in my last video, my self-tan on my neck was terrible. And again today it's pretty patchy. And that I've realised is because, see there, it's a bit patchy, is where I was scratching. I put this on last night, but my neck has been itchy. And so where I scratch it, the skin is more fragile, and I'm scratching the skin off and scratching the tan off. So it's not working out well for my self-tan. And self-tanner is a big part of my life and has been for many years. So I might end up stopping it for that reason. Okay, that's everything to tell you just now where I'm at. I am looking into, or it's on my list to look into, how to store it. I'm currently storing it in the fridge. One of you did say that you didn't store it in the fridge and it smelt like it had gone off. So that's encouraged me that I'm doing the right thing to keep it in the fridge, but a lot of you will say it doesn't say that in the leaflet, etc. So that's something I'm going to look into, and we'll report back to you my findings. Let me know how your retinoid journey is going. You know, we're all in this together. I'd love to know how you're getting on. Specifically, how long did it take you to stop peeling? Does it ever stop? What benefits do you notice then? Because there's a lot of people left me comments saying, you know, 1 year later and I'm still peeling. Why have you stuck with it for a year then? Is it because you want to see the benefits after a year, or have you already noticed other benefits? Do you use self-tanner? Does it work for you? I'd love to know what your experiences are. I'll give you a quick rundown of my makeup. Bare Minerals, Bare Pro, 09. On my eyes is the Viseart Amethyst palette. This is the Inglot blush in 20. Remember I said I was going to put it into rotation, so I kind of like it. And the lipstick is Barry M First Date, which I found really difficult to find online last time I mentioned it. I don't know whether it was new, so hopefully I can link it for you. And these earrings are from H&M. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.